Hello, Girl Scout friends. My name is Gnome, and I am the camp director at Camp Marywood. I am here today to talk to you about one of my all-time favorite topics. I love to learn about it, and I love to teach about it. And this topic is animals! If you've joined me for any of our Camp Chronicle videos in the past, you probably went exploring with me to a very neat beaver habitat in Kalamazoo. Well, today we are going to be learning about an animal that is a little further from our home. It is not native to Michigan, the United States, or even all of North America. Lucky for us, though, I have a special guest star who will be joining us to help us learn a little bit more about this very special, very cute animal. Today, we will be learning about hedgehogs. This is my friend Herbert. I like to call him Herbie for short, and he is an African pygmy hedgehog, and he is one of my animal companions that lives with me.
As I mentioned, Herbie is an African pygmy hedgehog. There are also European hedgehogs. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the differences between these two types. African pygmy hedgehogs live in a very warm climate, whereas European hedgehogs are more comfortable in cold weather. African hedgehogs need to be kept in an environment of 75 to 85 degrees. They do not hibernate. European hedgehogs, on the other hand, do hibernate in cold weather. African hedgehogs are about 8 inches long when they are full grown, and European hedgehogs can grow to be 10 inches long. African hedgehogs come in a larger variety of colors. Herbie is what is known as a cinnamon colored hedgehog. There is also salt and pepper, albino, and many different variations of brown. European hedgehogs are usually only brown. There is not a lot of variation in how European hedgehogs look. Most of the hedgehogs kept as pets here in the United States are African pygmy hedgehogs. They were bred and born here in the United States. It is not legal to move hedgehogs out of Africa. There are also protections for European hedgehogs. Their population is on the decline, so wildlife experts are working to protect them to make sure that they can continue to thrive in the wild. Both types of hedgehogs are nocturnal, meaning that they are most active at night. And both kinds have 5,000 to 7,000 spines. These spines are made of keratin, very similar to human fingernails. What do hedgehogs like to eat? Typically in the wild, they eat bugs, they might eat snails, they might eat slugs, toads, eggs. Here you can see Herbie sniffing around his little bowl of cat food. So while he lives with me, he always has access to dry cat food that's very high protein for him. And he also gets to eat some fresh insects. Uh-oh, there's his sister. What I'm feeding Herbie right now are superworms. They look like very large mealworms. So he gets fresh worms every single day. They give him a lot of moisture, a lot of protein, and they're really good for him. Herbie also really likes to eat eggs. He likes poultry. Hedgehogs are solitary animals, meaning that in the wild, they typically do not live in family groups. They live on their own. I have had Herbie since he was a baby. He's very used to my smell and my voice. He's ready to be solitary right now. So he is comfortable with me, but hedgehogs do have a difficult time meeting strangers, even if they are pets. And hedgehogs in the wild do not spend very much time with other hedgehogs or other animals.
Something that is very important when we keep animals in captivity, whether that be our pets in our home or animals that we see at a zoo or a nature center, it is very important that we do our best to meet their needs wherever they're staying and allow them to have some natural behaviors that these animals would have in the wild. We want to set up their habitat so that they are able to do that when they are living with humans as well. So this is where Herbie lives. You'll notice he's got a lot of little houses, lots of blankets, and that is because hedgehogs naturally burrow. They like to burrow under leaves, under plants and dirt. So you'll notice he's got a couple little castle houses that he can go under and he'll feel nice and secure because he has a cover over him. He's got a great big piggy bed here that's got all sorts of pieces of blanket in it. This is called a snuggle sack, so he could actually crawl right in there if he wanted. And he also has a tube here. Now this is good because it encourages his natural behavior of wanting to be burrowed underneath something. And actually right now he's not using any of his houses or any of his beds. He is just here all the way under the blanket taking a little nap. But being under all of these blankets helps him to feel secure, to feel safe, which means he's not going to be anxious or stressed out or unhappy. So I've provided him with the best environment to meet his natural needs. Along with that, here is a wheel, and this is what Herbie runs on. This is where he gets all his exercise every night. Hedgehogs do need a lot of exercise, so this allows him to come run on the wheel. He typically runs for a few hours a night, getting lots of exercise, and then he's also got food and fresh water here available to him all the time. In order to provide a good view of Herbie's enclosure, I did take off the cover. There is typically a little lid over this that is made of plastic and metal screening. And on that metal screen is where I put this heat lamp. So remember, we talked about African pygmy hedgehogs need to be kept at 75 to 85 degrees. So I have a heat lamp here that makes sure that Herbie is nice and comfortable and safe at the temperature he needs to be at. Hedgehogs have a very unique behavior called anointing, and animal experts are not exactly sure why they do this. They suspect it might be to cover their scent from predators, to try to blend in with their surroundings. So I've given Herbie a peppermint tea bag. Oh, there he goes. These are safe for hedgehogs to chew on. And, oh, good, he's going to anoint. So you'll get to see what this behavior looks like. It's very strange looking. And if you don't know that hedgehogs do this, it's almost a little scary because they chew on whatever the item is that has an unfamiliar smell. So Herbie, has actually done this with my socks. He's done this with all different types of items. And they salivate, they create a foam in their mouth, and then they put it on their backs so they can better blend in with their surroundings. This is a totally natural behavior. So Herbie is not in any pain. He's not having any issues right now. Although it looks kind of strange, He's actually disguising his scent. So now he'll blend in. Oh, look at how confident and bold he is now. Off he goes. He's all camouflaged with peppermint tea bag. We are going to play a fun game called Guess the Cousin, where I give you a list and images of a few different animals, and you have to pick which one you believe is related to hedgehogs. I'll give you a hint. There's more than one right answer. The options we have are porcupines, moles, shrews, tenrics, mice, or moon rats. Which of these 6 animals do you believe is related to hedgehogs? If you guessed moles, shrews, or moon rats, you are correct. Although porcupines and tenrics both have spines similar to hedgehogs, they are actually not closely related. Tenrics are sometimes referred to as a lesser hedgehog, which can be confusing because they are not closely related. Tenrics are arboreal, meaning that they live in trees and they can climb up branches. Hedgehogs are not capable of climbing up in trees. They do not have good depth perception, so they cannot see well enough to climb on trees. So, if you ever see something that looks like a hedgehog and it's up in a tree, know that it is a tenric. Tenrics are native to Madagascar as well as some parts of mainland Africa. There are a variety of species that look very different. Thank you for watching.